The Dershow.
What did the president do in this case? He not only didn't declare war on Iran, he declared peace. He actually said, this is a one-off, just going to do this. We're going to end their ability to have nuclear weapons, which we have tried to negotiate them out of, but they wouldn't. But then what we want is peace. We want negotiation. He declared peace. Does he need congressional approval to declare peace? That's so absurd. If the shoe were on the other foot, and it's been on the other foot, these same hypocrites in Congress, the Schumers and the others, would be saying, oh my God, Democratic president? No, a Democratic president doesn't need the authority of a Republican Congress. Only a Republican president needs the authority of a Democratic Congress. It's so hypocritical that when you even state it, it answers itself. Where was Schumer when Clinton and Obama waged war, put boots on the ground, or even when other Republicans, obviously President George W. Bush waged war. He waged a war against Iraq. He sent our soldiers in. Men and women were killed, and there was no declaration of war. And I don't remember hearing very much about that. But now that, the left has taken so much power within the Democratic Party, it's as if this is the first time in history this has ever been done. And again, no boots on the ground. A few pilots, what were there, 250 planes or something like that, flew in, flew out. The Iranians didn't even know they were there until it was over, until the president announced it. Nope. And we don't even know about casualties. Has anybody heard about a casualty count? Do we know whether anybody was in Fordo? Do we know whether anybody was in the other two places? I mean, the amazing ability of our Air Force to destroy, we don't know how much it destroyed. That will require a battle analysis. But with no casualties, and I assume if there were casualties, the Iranians would talk about it. They've talked about the other casualties. They've exaggerated them, but they've talked about other casualties. But as far as I know, there were no casualties either from the American attack on the 3 nuclear sites or from Iran's attack today on the American base in Qatar. I've been in Qatar on a couple of occasions. Met the emir. I had dinner with the emir. I've met his mother. I've met his brother. We were probably pretty close to where these attacks occurred because, we went way into the country. We went on camel rides. We went to camel races, you name it. They took us everywhere. We were, guests of the emir. So we were treated like junior emirs. And I'm glad I'm not there now, but it was the cleanest and most surgical air attack probably in history. I don't know of any other air attack that accomplished so much with so little in terms of any kinds of collateral damage. Remarkable, absolutely remarkable. But, for Schumer, it's a basis for attack. He's going to attack. And of course, the guy who may be the next mayor of New York is going to attack. Imagine New York having as its mayor a vicious anti-Semite who believes in boycotting Jewish Israeli businesses. New York has a population of more than 1 million Jews. It's the largest concentration of Jews in any city, maybe even including Israel, but certainly if you don't include Tel Aviv, it depends on whether you count the suburbs and how you count them, but it's a close question. But for them to have an anti-Semitic mayor, a bigoted anti-Israel mayor, a mayor who would boycott Jewish businesses in Israel, not Arab businesses in Israel. So he's not boycotting Israelis, he's boycotting Israeli Jews. The mayor of New York to be somebody like that, it's just absolutely remarkable. We'll find out soon. By tomorrow's show, we probably won't know. But by Wednesday's show, we probably will know. We live in strange times, and we live in times of great hypocrisy. And as I've said before, e pluribus unum should be substituted for hypocrisy. That's our motto. Everything today is done on a partisan basis. That's why you can't trust Congress to pass a resolution constraining the president's action, because very few members of Congress will vote the national interest. They'll vote their own interest in getting reelected, and they'll vote their partisan interest. But the last thing they'll think of is this good or bad for America. And so, no, I don't believe that the Constitution requires or even permits Congress to exercise the kind of constraints on executive authority of the commander-in-chief as some of the Democrats and some of the kooky Republicans are now demanding. Remember, we do have kooky Republicans on the extreme right, the isolationists in the party, the people who think that America should never be involved in any aspect of world politics. So we have kooks on the right, we have kooks on the left, and we have no one in the center. That's the problem. It's the weakening of the center, the disappearance of reasonable, rational, centrist conservatives, centrist liberals. Remember, as I've said before, centrist liberals and conservatives are almost the same. They believe in tolerance, free speech, due process, all of those things. The extremes on the right and the left don't. Extremes on the right and the left, the ends justify the means. The center, whether you're a conservative or liberal, you believe in process, you believe in fairness, you believe in equality, due process, real equality, meritocracy. Those are the things that unite decent people who are conservatives and liberals, and which divides each of them from the extremists on their own party. Okay, so before we get back to questions, I want you to buy some gold. The market went up today, but with battles and fights going on in the world, it's unpredictable. And yeah, many of us, I do. I have stocks, I have bonds, but I also have gold. I always have gold because that's the hedge. That's the insurance policy. So let me read you from my sponsor. If you're concerned about where the economy is headed, you're not alone. Do you know you can roll over your 401k IRA or existing retirement accounts into physical gold and silver, tax and penalty free? It's not. I always love to hold the gold. I used to have a gold bar, a really big gold bar, but now I have little gold bars, which I give out. So I give to my children for birthday presents and things like that. I pay taxes on it, don't worry, but I give it to my kids for Hanukkah or for their birthdays. I'm sponsored by Goldco, a top-rated precious metal company. They have a dedicated team of specialists who make the process seamless. Gold and silver have been used as a store of value for centuries and as a hedge against market risks and inflation. Help protect the diversity of what you've worked so hard for. So go to Alan Likes, not Loves. I love my wife and I love my children. I like gold. So it's AlanLikesGold.com, all caps, AlanLikesGold.com for more information. Goldco is offering an exclusive 2025 gold and silver kit, and it's free. You could also qualify for up to 10% in free silver with no maximum limit. So go to AlanLikesGold.com or click on the link in the video description. At the very least, you owe it to yourself to find out how to diversify your savings, tax, and penalty-free with gold and silver.